Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. Today I will talk with you about Matomo Analytics and Microsoft SharePoint. Before asking if everyone have any knowledge about SharePoint, I will just introduce myself. So my name is Laurent Sittler. I'm a Microsoft 365 consultant architect. I'm working for Sword company, and here you can have access to my personal information like Twitter and GitHub, and the QR code just redirects you directly on my personal homepage. So SharePoint Analytics, what does that mean really, and why should you use Matomo with SharePoint? Just some information, and what is it interesting to have this kind of solution in addition to Microsoft SharePoint? First of all, because SharePoint is your favorite platform of collaboration and communication. For sure, if you have Microsoft 365 environment, SharePoint can be a good asset to communicate and share any information and collaborate with each other in the same organization, even with external people. So this is why that can be interesting to have this kind of platform to work in your organization. SharePoint usage dashboard does not provide enough information maybe for your organization. This is why adding an analytics like Matomo can be really useful for your company, because you want maybe have some specific KPI based on SharePoint and based on your organization needs, and maybe you want something like with the real time usage on your SharePoint sites. And main pros of this kind of solution with Matomo, this is mainly if you want to own your data. Here we will work on SharePoint Online, but you need to know that it is totally possible to use the same things on SharePoint on-premise, mainly for the 2019 mainly, but you can use it for the 2016 or 32. So you just change the solution package that we show you during this presentation. Ronan, question. In the past, there was a lot of requests for Matomo consulting with SharePoint Analytics. Is still the case? I do not know, to be honest. And does Microsoft Clarity Analytics use with SharePoint Analytics? Not really. Today, Microsoft Clarity is a solution based on Microsoft directly, so this is not any link today with Matomo, to be honest. And this is why, in this case, it's something else. It's like if you want to use Google Analytics, and you have to add specific heading in your code to be able to link your website or SharePoint with Clarity of Microsoft. So the solution that I will show you today is quite simple to deploy, and you can deploy it directly on a specific SharePoint site or for your world tenant. That means all the sites in your environment of Microsoft SharePoint. The solution that I will show you too is compatible with SharePoint Modeling Experience and the legacy one. Not the same package, because I have two different packages to do the same thing, but the main idea is the same. And it's quite easy to deploy from any platform, because you have different kind of package and the script to be able to deploy it directly. So I think maybe you want to do maybe you want to see how it works directly. So my presentation is mainly based on a real demonstration. That means I will build quickly an environment to be able to have Matomo analytics directly on my own laptop, and I will use it to map it directly on my SharePoint site. So to do this, you can use my own blog, because all information that we'll show you today is based on my previous blog posts, and this is this one. I'm just explaining how we can build quickly a Docker for Matomo, and to be able to deploy the package on your own environment. So first of all, I will take my own Docker Compose to do it, and I will create it directly. So matomo compose.yaml. paste. I will change some configuration because this is a quite old post. So some things are changed until this version. So first of all, the MySQL version must be the latest one. And Matomo, because Matomo now provide his own Docker, so that means we don't have to use Bitnami anymore. And I think this is it for my part. So this is it. And we just have to run it now. Docker compose, file, Matomo, and I already checked on my side yesterday, so that means I don't have to pull the whole image. I just have to up my server directly on my local laptop. I just have to wait the image is built. In the same way, I will just show you because I want to show this time. I'm mainly working on Mac OS on Linux, but for this time I choose to use Windows to deploy the solution on the environment, just to change, and that can be fun. And for this exercise, I just create a specific Microsoft SharePoint site based on the Matomo website to for just have some page, an area, some content to be able to check if everything is okay. Like this. So this is my portal and here. By the way, if you are just looking at my blog post, once your Docker is ready, it's not the case now, but I can just prepare the rest of my presentation at the same time. You have to download the latest version from my own repository. You can choose between use the PowerShell solution. That means you can deploy the solution directly from a Microsoft Windows environment. And if you have any Mac or Linux, you can use the Bash version of the scripts to be able to deploy on your environment. And if you don't want to use any scripts to deploy the solution, you can directly use the SPPKG to deploy directly on the app catalog of SharePoint directly. So what we have to do, first of all, is to connect to the website. So connect to PNP Online. You are here. I just have to take the rest of my websites here. And my recommendation is to use SPO management shell. You can use different kind of connection, but one of the most to be able to deploy this kind of package, SPO management shell is really work really well. And if you have a different kind of connection in the same environment, another recommendation is to clear the token cache to avoid any wrong connection to SharePoint. So that means because I clear the cache, I have to log in again. I will use my account directly. Here, that's correct. So just one thing I just prepared for this presentation. I just create an app catalog directly on my site collection because I will show you how to deploy just Matomo Analytics on one site collection on my environment rather than deploying it for the whole tenant. So here that means you have to create an app catalog on your SharePoint site. You can find quite easily the information through the different documentation of Microsoft on the PNP community. So here I'm connected. So if I'm going to just get my PNP web just to ensure I'm connecting on the good site, here. Yeah, this is a good one. So in my blog post, I just explain, because when you are working on Microsoft Windows, when you are downloading this kind of script, of PowerShell script, for security reason, you have, before unzip the package, unblock the files. So I already did it on my side, but just you have to know, if you are going here, you just have to click on the repository. And if you just click on here PowerShell, the archive zip file, just have to unblock it directly thanks to the command here. So it's just unblock file, and you just have to precise your package. On my side, that should be something like Matomo and the archive zip. If you do this, you can be able to extract all files from the archive, and you will be able to execute the code. If you don't do this, you will have an error. So now I'm connecting, I'm getting my script. So now I just have to configure my Matomo server to be sure that everything is okay. So in my case, I will use my local IP. You can use ngrok if you want to use it through the internet and use HTTPS connection, an SSL connection. In my case, I don't need it. I just need a version of Matomo to be able to just check my environment. So in this case, because this is a just demonstration environment, I don't have any strong password. This is just password 1, and this is default root account for MySQL, and I just use MTM for the database name, and everything should be okay here. Just have to wait. Yeah, table created, so that means my Matomo server is almost done. Next, super user, Matomo, and super password. For the password, quite easy. Super password. Again, email. I can use mtm at matomo.local. I don't have to subscribe on anything here. And one last step, for sure, you have to create your tracking ID to be able to link your SharePoint site to Matomo environment. So in my case, I just use SharePoint demo. And website, you can use directly the world domain name, the world DNS, or you can precise just your site collection. In my case, I just use for avoid any constraint. I will use the world domain name. And my time zone here is Canada. So I will use my Canada time zone here. And that's it. This is no e-commerce site. So now you have the tracking code, but for SharePoint, you don't have to use this code. The only thing that you have to know, this is your tracking ID and your website URL that will host your Matomo server. So yay, continue to Matomo. That sounds good. Yeah, this is one more thing. Do not forget it, because I'm in local. I just need to change something for Docker exec ID. What is the container name? Container ID. This is this one, and Bosch, and just have to replicate a bit. I don't like VI. Sorry for developer guides. I prefer use Nano. Just my own preference. Sorry about that. Config. Yeah, application install. Install Nano. That should be quite fast. Yeah, Nano config and configure it. And I just have to change this line here for the trusted host. And because here I'm not using the default port, that should be something like 443 or 80. But in my case, because I have different kind of servers that running on the same host, I can use the same port for the web server. So now everything is okay. So if I remember well, so it is something like super password. That can be something like ngrok or your own domain and your site ID. If you have several site IDs, that can be something else than just the one. And with this information in mind, and you can just go back to my blog post and it just explains the command here. So you can copy directly the command and just edit some information. So I will just check stop. Here, in my case, I need the tracking site ID 1. And because my server is localhost, so that means this IP, double dot, this one, without any HTTPS, and my SharePoint site where I will deploy my package is this one. Here we go. Now everything should be work well. I hope. I wish and I pray for the God of the demo that everything is okay. Everything seems okay. So first thing that you can check is on your SharePoint site if you have the new package extensibility available on your site. So this is quite easy to check it. You will have this new application, Matomo Analytics for SharePoint, and you can just check the version and your package if everything is okay with no error directly on your app catalog. So now everything should be okay. So that means we can go to the site and browse different pages to just have some traffic. I will just switch some page directly here like this, and maybe just perform a search. Matomo. This is the context of this presentation. We have a search. That's it. It's time to break. Okay, so now if I go back to my server, I should have nothing because I'm just using this IP and my virtual machine does not know this server. So that I have to do directly here on my laptop directly. So I will check again on my side. I will just switch from page to page on the premises here and maybe just perform a search like this. So now if I go back here, oh, let's move. That sounds good. So if I go to the real time, I can see, or I can just go to visit log directly. What I can see here, I can see something. It's happened. I can check my own IP, and I can check which page was visited by my guest, my visitor, and I can even check any search on my SharePoint site. So I can go to different modern page only. That means if I go, for example, to the site content, it works too. That means you can go back to the site contents and you can explore default document library, any kind of document directly on the site. And now the only thing is because my configuration, my basic configuration does not track more information. And it's not totally the case here because, yeah, I already track the user ID. And here what I can check is I can go to the site contents and our documents. So everything sounds good. So what you have of information based on my script, what you have to keep in mind, if I check the PNP PowerShell, because this is one of the prerequisites to be able to deploy the solution on your environment. This is a framework, a module PowerShell that you have to install directly on your machine. And what are the parameters that you have to use? You have some required, like the site URL, just I show you, and the tracking URL. You can use a CDN endpoint because previously with the timeout and the time for loading the page, sometimes SharePoint is just loading faster than the extension that you just install on my site. So that means it does not track correctly my page load. And after that, you have to track the site ID. Okay, everything sounds good here. And you have by default the track outbit timer at true. You can provide the track user ID rather than just using the login name. You can use directly the user ID to be able to track more anonymously the information. And because in my case, I just deploy the extension on my specific site collection, I can use this kind of parameter directly on my command, on my cmdlet, to be able to deploy the package for the whole tenant. So once I did it, if I do this, I will deploy the whole package on my whole tenant. That means all of my site, SharePoint site collection, all of my SharePoint site will be able to be tracked directly on with the same configuration. What does that mean too? That means if you want to track different site collection, but you want to use different tracking site ID, you can just do exactly what I did on my side for this demonstration, and you will be able to track different sites for different tracking site ID based on Matomo. So that means you can have different, here it's not my case here because I have just only one website, but you can have SharePoint demo, for example. In the most case for several organizations, that can be your intranet or sometimes extranet or any kind of website that you want just to split based on this information. You can just create different tracking ID and deploy directly the solution on each site. What else? Skip the custom action. So that means you can install the package without enable the tracking directly on the site, and you can skip some part of the deployment. You have several demo here of an example of the code that you can use directly on your environment to just check if everything is okay. And because I'm just working on a Microsoft Windows, if you have any Mac OS or Linux environment, you can use here the framework CLI for Microsoft 365. You have to install directly through npm environment the package here, and you just have to connect. You have to, for sure, be allowed the setup.sh to be executable directly on your environment, and you have exactly the same parameter to launch the setup. And what else? So in my case, everything sounds good. What I can just afford you is if you have any trouble with the script, it's really easy to debug it. As you can see here, you have just some PowerShell script, and you can just edit whatever. And what it does not mention here, you have the documentation about my extension. You can use the setup PS1, the bash script, and just be aware about the version of the Microsoft 365 CLI on PNP PowerShell. In my case, I'm just using the PowerShell 5 and not the latest one. So that means I does not use the 7 one. So that means the core one. That can be an upgrade of my solution for deploy the package on your environment. And this is the same case for Microsoft 365 CLI. My script have 2 years ago, and that means it's not currently the latest version of the npm. What about the code? Quickly, if you have any upgrade, for example, here the solution is quite easy. It's quite basics. So that means you can just record the site's usage, and mainly just visit between the different page of the site, and you can catch the search. But if you want more indicator, more KPI on your environment, the only thing that you have to do is you have two choices, to be honest. You can just go to the code and change the different API. So not API, but KPI. And you just have to go here, and once you have any kind of event, you just have to push the pack directly on your environment, and you can track, for example, any download file, any opened file. You can check any action based on SharePoint. For example, if you want to go to your site collection and just use the ellipsis, and any kind of this kind of link can be tracked directly, mainly based because Microsoft has a really good thing for the different action. For example, here what is really interesting, you have anytime a data automation ID. And for each kind of button that you can find here, you have exactly this kind of information. So here pin item command, you have here follow command, and you have exactly the same kind of thing here for here the drop down menu. Here, for example, you should have something like blah 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 contextual. In this case, that's the case. I choose the wrong case here, but here, for example, we have the data automation ID to be able to share your content directly with someone else. And if you want to go to the page and catch directly when someone is sharing something to someone else, you just have to get the page here quite easily and check the different send button to be able to track the people. So anyway, this is quite technical here on this case, but just one line things you can know is in the future, in the next few weeks, I will release a new package to be able to use directly Matomo Tag Manager rather than just Matomo Analytics. So that means you everything of this kind of action can be directly managed through Tag Manager. So that means you don't have to develop on the package and change something to be able to track different kind of KPI on your environment. And this is it for my presentation. It's quite fast. I just want to be sure that everything is okay. Sometimes I need more time to do this presentation because you have some latencies with SharePoint, but today everything worked well. So if you have any question, this is the moment for you.
We have many questions. Ronan Charbonneau saying, so the automatic support of user ID is brought thanks to the special Docker image developed for Microsoft SharePoint. And the second question is, will you share the link of the GitLab in the chat? If the Matomo team awarded
for the first easy question, I just share my blog post directly on the chat, so that means you can directly access to my blog post, and you will have all information about the Docker and the link to direct to my repository to be able to download the solution. That's for the first question. For the second one about the tracking ID of the user, I'm not sure to understand exactly what is the question about the tracking. I go here, just heard about the tracking user ID. What is exactly the question about the ID? Blah, 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 blah. So, to automatic support of user IDs brought thanks to the special Docker image. No, that's all. Yeah, sorry, Rana. Now, here, this is my code directly that will manage and provide this information. So if I just go back to my code here, you can handle it and change anything that you need. If you don't want to have this information, you just have to go here, and you have here the user ID based on the current context of SharePoint. That means the login ID. If you prefer have the GUI ID or something like this, you can choose to change this line of code and change by the login name by the GUI ID of the Entra ID object or something else. And the other question is, push the link of the GitLab. That's okay. Is much more about this documentation. Yeah. And thanks to Ronan Charbonneau, you can have all information about Matomo on SharePoint directly, and that will be redirected directly on my solution today. I will try to provide as many as I can some support about my extension today, but because this is only on my free personal time, it's not easy every day to be able to provide any support quite quickly. So if you go just to SharePoint site here, you have here, I don't know if it's this one or the other one. This is for on-premises. On-premises, I provide another solution too, as I mentioned. It's mainly for the modern experience here directly. Here, you have a link directly on this page. I can just show you the same link. And here you have the explanation about how on which kind of platform this extension works, and currently it works for SharePoint Online and Microsoft SharePoint Server 2019 too. Because this is a version of my extension, I voluntarily choose to keep an old version of the SPFX. This is a framework provided by the Microsoft community, and this is clearly not the latest version. The latest version is something like 1.14 and not 1.4. This is the latest version that you can use to be able to deploy this kind of extension of both platforms, on the on-prem one and the online one. So that's it for the explanation here. I don't know if you have any other information about different kind of information here. No, everything is based on my blog post directly. Yeah, so I think I answered the 3 questions. Does the plugin deal with Matomo custom dimension? Not yet, not this component, because this component is mainly based on Matomo Analytics and not Tag Manager. So that means you can add this kind of dimension directly. So it's exactly what I said. I will provide in the next few weeks a new extension on which you will be able to use directly Matomo Tag Manager or any kind of analytics tool, for not mention the other ones, but you will be able to map directly your tag manager with SharePoint site, and you will be able to use the custom dimension directly through tag manager without to have edit something else directly through the SPFX solution. So that means if you don't have any skill for SharePoint development, you don't have to have this kind of skills, because everything that will be did directly through the tag manager. Instead of Matomo? Well, that can be a good question. I think yes, but I don't try it myself. When I say yes, it is mainly because you can provide your own URL of your server environment. Here, this is a Matomo Analytics server URL. So I think if you don't choose to use Matomo.org, for example, if you choose pweek something, everything should work. Yes. Just I will check something on my code, because I'm not really sure. But you can, yeah, I'm pretty sure, because if you want to use a specific CDN rather than using the Matomo one by default, you can specify. So the CDN, what is it exactly? This is a content delivery network. So that means you can specify a specific URL to load the JavaScript injection directly on your site. So what does that mean is, if I go back to my code, you have here the main code to be able to launch the tracker on your site. And here you can directly check if you specify another and what is it, the tracking URL, and then maybe not. No, I don't think so. pweek can work, because that will not be matomo.php for the endpoint of the API. I think this is something like pweek.php. So if you want to use this extension, and if this extension needs to work with pweek, you have to change this line mainly to revert Matomo by pweek.php, something like this. This is the only reason why this version of the solution does not work with pweek directly. You just have to perform this change, and I think everything should be okay with that. And this is the same thing here. Each occurrence of Matomo need to be changed by pweek, and that's it. Any other question? I can mention, because I have some time, if you want. I provide different kind of extension, and many you can find here. Matomo Analytics, and where is the other one? I think I already provided the Matomo for legacy. Classic SharePoint site, yes, it is it. So if you have legacy experience of Microsoft SharePoint, does that mean if you are using SharePoint 2016, or if you as well choose to use the legacy experience of Microsoft SharePoint Online rather than using the modern one, you can use this information to be able to deploy directly solutions. So in my repository too, you can find different kind of custom action, and here mainly you can find Google Analytics and Matomo 2 and Matomo Tag Manager 2 in this case, with a little error. And with Matomo Analytics, you can directly use this script to be able to deploy the package on your site. So this is exactly the same idea, basically. The only thing that will change here, this is for Matomo Tag Manager. In this case, you will be able for only classic experience, that means at least from the version of SharePoint 2030. And that means it's compatible with the 16, 19, and online one, at least as you are using the classic experience of SharePoint. You can use here the Matomo Tag Manager on your SharePoint site. And this is quite easy because you don't have to provide a lot of information. At least just the site URL of your SharePoint site, the tracking site URL, and everything else is managed by Tag Manager directly. And yeah, that's it. Any other question? Then to the God of demo, it was quite fast, hopefully for me. But yeah, I have some time, so if you have any other question, do not hesitate. Yes, and I think if there are no more questions, you can close the room. Thank you.